Good evening. Call this meeting to order. There we go. Meeting of the City of Revere Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board. My name is Joe Gravelisi, I'm the chair of the board, serving on behalf of Mayor Patrick Keefe. And we'll begin with attendance, a call of the roll. We have members that are present both in person and virtually. So if you're here virtually, just unmute yourself when I call your name and speak up so you can be heard for the record. So our vice chair, Claire Inzerillo.
Present.
Treasurer, Nayo Sparky.
Here, present.
Deb Frank, I do not see at the moment. Dean Harris.
Present.
Layla Pietri.
Present.
Lori Manzo.
Present.
I see you there. Thank you. Matt Wolf.
Present.
I believe that's everybody. So I know that Deb said she was going to try to make it. The other attendance-related notes I have is that we have joining us virtually Noah Harper from JM Goldson to continue and kind of move forward with the planning process that we've all been working on, which has been much appreciated. I disappeared for a second, and then I broke the screen again, which sounds right. And then I also have a note from both Tom and Lorena from the city that neither of them can make it, but I have some updates from Lorena that she sent around to everyone via email that I'll read through just for an update for everyone today. With that said, moving through the items of the agenda, we'll start with, as usual, our update from the treasurer, which I know you had some background on that, so I'll kick it to you and Aya.
Sure. Well, good evening, everyone. The current budget, as it was reported June 6, 2024, is $637,463.70.
Could you repeat that number? I'm sorry. So that
Certainly, $637,463.70.
great. Thank you very much. So out of respect both for everyone's time and for Noah's, who's joined us, we're going to kind of get right into what should be the vast majority of today's meeting, which is a review, discussion, update on the strategic plan process and some of the planning that we've done. So as a recap, as you all know, at our last few meetings, we had some working sessions to talk through some of our strategies, our budget for the next 5 years. And then we broke into smaller groups and did some homework. And then using that informed some of what Noah has put together. And I'm just going to kick it to you if you want to just talk through kind of where we are and next steps on this process.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Joe. Hope everyone can hear me okay. I think in terms of the process, this meeting is about getting your feedback on the draft plan. And I know it might have gone out just a couple days ago, so we might get to push that a little bit. But we'll have this meeting to discuss any, first reactions to things and thoughts, and maybe talk a little bit about the budget in a few minutes. And then the next meeting will be our last one, where we'll sort of finalize the plan and see if there's any last minute adjustments to be made. So we're in the home stretch, we're near there, and I want to apologize, Jen was not able to make it today. She's at a retreat, but we did discuss all of your wonderful submissions last week and went through them, and really appreciate all the hard work. And it was fun synthesizing it. So I think my first question would be just to kick it out, if anyone has any first reactions to the plan and thoughts. So I've got my notes here, and can hear your thoughts, or feel free to put them into word comments for us to look at later. But I'll turn it over to the trust.
Yeah, so my first few just really quick comments, and I'll leave it to other folks because I know we had a chance to connect offline. I like the way the strategies are categorized. I thought that's really interesting. It gives us a helpful way of thinking about kind of the way we're going to do the work we're going to do. The program and partnership piece, the planning, and the land use and regulatory, kind of different buckets, but all kind of working in the same goal. I very much like how it fits in seamlessly with the master planning process that was already done and the housing production plan, so that's really helpful. And I'm also very grateful that we had that nice mission statement that everyone worked on. I made some grammatical errors in the version of it that we had. Now we have it, and it's written, nice and snappy and with no grammatical errors, so that's great. And I am in full alignment with the goals, how they're a combination of kind of numbers-based and idea-based. So I'll leave it to others if you want to offer your thoughts, but those are kind of my quick reactions. guess everyone was wowed by. Well, it does reflect, all joking aside. I think the work that was done in the planning sessions. I think we had really robust discussions, and it made it, at least from my angle, from my perspective. And I know Lorena and Tom aren't here, but I worked with them on our piece. It made it pretty easy to put together our exercise, right? Because we kind of had the conversations. We knew the types of things that we were trying to accomplish, what was feasible, and we kind of, thanks to Noah, thanks to your team, you helped, I went into this process thinking, oh, it's really hard to put numbers and kind of smart goals behind what we're trying to do because we're kind of limited in budget and we're not sure. But thanks to the way we did the exercises, it got me thinking, and I think it got everyone thinking, actually, no, we can put some numbers behind this. We can put some really tangible goals behind it.
This is Anayo. Thanks again, Noah, and also for
Yeah.
working hard on this. I did read through it as well. The only thing, Ollie, since it's still, I guess, in a development stage or you're near the end of it, is it possible to add a section or a comment on evaluating progress as we, complete objectives? Again, I read through most of it, and a lot of it was kind of explanatory, like this is what we're going to do. But is there a scope or room for us to put some sort of way of measuring how well we are at achieving what we're doing, or to reevaluate our ability to do the stated objectives?
Yeah, I think absolutely. That's a really great idea, Nio. And I'm thinking in terms of timeline, the next week and a half, maybe you guys have another chance to read through it and send some comments our way. But that'll also be a chance for me and Jen to put our heads together and add that section to it. I think having a brief couple sentences or more on how to reevaluate things as different scenarios happen and making sure you're on track is a great idea. So would be more than happy to add that in IAB.
Thank you.
Great. Any other comments on this? Or Noah, maybe we'll just lead it to you on, next steps, how we can be helpful. I know that the biggest thing that seems unresolved, obviously, are some of these budget questions, which, of course, whomst among us, working in the worlds of housing or government, don't have lots of budget questions. I anticipate we'll have some more answers around that in the not too distant future. I do also appreciate, and I'll put myself on this list, I know it's been, 4th of July, we've had various vacations, people have been in and out of the office, so I know that everyone finding time to get the answers they need, to put together their piece of this hasn't always been easy, so I appreciate that.
Sure.
And also appreciate folks' patience for when I was unavailable too, so thank you to everyone for that. So the budget piece, other things that, between now and the next meeting, in addition to maybe just continuing to review it, we should be thinking about, or that you're thinking about, or that we're trying to work on for this.
Yeah, I think just, Pigeon, just going off of the budget piece, Joe, the question of, is there anything that's programmed to be spent this fiscal year already? That'd be good to include in there. That's like a sure thing. I have 25,000, I believe, in that state grant for
That's right.
First-time home buyers.
And then
If
we're
there's anything
gonna
else-
we're gonna match that out of our budget,
Okay.
with another 25 out of our own funds, not from the state grant. So that's the only thing that we've committed to for an expenditure concretely.
Yeah, I was thinking about this today and wondering, I know we have right now drafted some money next year to put out an RFP for a feasibility study of city-owned properties. And if maybe putting that in fiscal year 2025 would be helpful at all to say, hey, we could get this started in the next year. Because I know, maybe want to get that rolling and have this ambitious 100 household target. Just wondered if you had any thoughts on that.
I think some of the city updates, which I forget, I'm not sure if you were on them from Lorena, help us with that in terms of taking
Sure.
the processes ongoing. Actually, I think it makes sense to read these city updates while we have you on for your piece of it, because so much
That'd be great.
of it overlaps. So if you weren't on it, I apologize, and let me read this through to you. So these are updates from Lorena Escalero on behalf of the city. You know, usually we'll have Lorena or Tom give their update in person, and we look forward to having them back in August. Presumably, Tom simply can't show his face around here ever since the Celtics won the championship, so he's going to have to take an additional month off before we can see him. So here are the updates from Lorena, and some of this very much overlaps with some of what we talked about. So first off, not quite related, but sort of. So the lottery for 133 Salem Street, the project that we did fund, our first kind of major undertaking, is happening tomorrow at 6. Or the information session is happening tomorrow at 6, sorry, and then the lottery itself is August 16th. So there's a little over a month for that. A flyer has been sent out. It went out to all the members, in addition to going out via a marketing plan to reach the public as necessary. So that's moving forward. So that's great. Just great work by everybody, and we're not far away from seeing the fruits of our labor on that, which is exciting. And then also just for anyone watching, or if you know anyone who fits into the income categories where they may benefit from entering into the lottery, it's a good time to look into it. Second update, so the Realtor RFP for the 5 tax title properties currently possessed by the city was released last week, and proposals are due at the end of the month. So the RFP is attached to the email that went out to all the members. Noah, I'll get that to you for your review and to your team as well. So now that that's out, we'll have kind of a better sense of, we'll see the proposals that come in and have a better idea of kind of what's feasible there. Third exciting update is that Lorena's drafted some guidelines and an application for the first-time homebuyer down payment assistance program, with a goal of launching it in mid-August. So this also is included in that email that went around to everybody, which I know just went out today. So I'd ask everyone to review that, take a look at it, have your thoughts before our next meeting, and then you can provide your feedback to Tom and Lorena. But of course, if you have feedback between now and then or have questions, feel free to submit it via email in advance. So hopefully that helps a little bit, Noah, framing kind of some of the conversations that are happening around what progress is happening on our different goals and action items.
That's really helpful, and also for the housing production plan side of things too. I think in terms of timeline and next steps, so basically till next Friday, we give you guys a chance to read it through a couple more times and digest it. Maybe by, I think 7/19 was the date I had written down. Then on our side, Jen and I are going to look at that and talk through it and work on some revisions. And we'll have a finalized draft for you to look at just a week before the next meeting, which I believe would be the 7th if the 14th is the August meeting. That's like the next steps. Would love to hear more feedback from you guys if there's anything comes to mind, and we'll turn that around for you and give you a week to review before our final meeting for this project.
So Noah, just to be clear that I understood, so you're looking, any feedback on this, you're looking to hopefully get by the 19th, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that'd be ideal.
So putting that out there, feedback by the 19th, I'll put that out as a reminder in the email that goes out after the meeting. And obviously, if you have questions, reach out to Noah directly or myself,
Yeah.
Claire, and we're happy to talk through it. Okay, so we have a game plan for that. We do have that next meeting for August, so we'll have you back. We'll have a hearty agenda for that one, and that'll include kind of finalizing this. And hopefully we'll have some numbers to add to the budget piece. And so Anayo, you and I, we should connect with the mayor's office on their aspect of it, and the city council as well. So terrific. All right. Other items for you, Noah, you're certainly more than welcome to hang on for the rest of this. I think we have a pretty short rest of our agenda, but anything else that you want to make sure that you're getting out to us?
No, nothing else. Just want to emphasize, really happy to chat about anything if it comes to mind from you all. And it's been really fun working on this plan with you.
Good. Hopefully we're not too bad to work with, Anyone have questions for Noah?
Thank you, Noah.
Terrific. Thank you to everyone for your contributions to this. It's really been much appreciated. I know we don't like to give people homework since this is a once a month volunteer assignment, but sometimes it is necessary. So I have a couple updates on standing items, some of which are a bit redundant. So I mentioned 133 Salem and what's up with that. With down payment assistance, updates are, we've determined we are gonna do it, we can move forward with it, given that it's a specific state line item that came in for us to do that, and the guidelines have been put together. So thank you to Lorena for that. Please review those. Hopefully, this isn't formal homework, but if you want to use that same timeline of within the next week and a half to review some of those and provide any questions or feedback that you have, that would be great, as it would be nice to activate that program and get it going. Yep.
This may be redundant or I'm overthinking it, but was the line item to the trust separate from the city? Did the city get anything, or are we the sole receivers of that
The line item was specifically for the trust.
for the trust?
Yeah.
And so, okay, and we're matching via our own
Yes,
funds?
that's
Okay.
correct. Yep. Any questions about that? Yeah. And I can send the budget line item. We can put that language in the minutes, just that people have it. I want to make sure, by the way, that I'm being attentive to the folks on Zoom if anyone has questions, feedback, commentary. Excellent. So we talked about 133 Salem, the down payment assistance program. The last update that we have is for kind of our standing items, is ending a standing item. I know we talked about and we had solicited and talked with potentially Habitat for Humanity, or other methods of doing an elder or low-income repairs program, or elder repairs program for elders with low income. It's been determined after review and kind of analyzing with some of the concerns that were brought up in a previous meeting that that's in fact not within the scope of what we're allowed to do as an affordable housing trust. It doesn't meet the definition, specifically of expanding or preserving the deed-restricted units on the subsidized housing inventory. So because of that, we'll be dropping that one as an agenda item. I let our friends at Habitat know there may be other opportunities for us to work together on projects along those lines, but it would have to be more specifically tailored and fitting the definition of what we're trying to do. I think we all want to make sure that we're correctly following the guidelines that regulate what we do. So we appreciate Claire, your team, for looking into that, and appreciate our folks at JM Goldson for kind of helping us get some clarity on that one. Any questions about that? A little bit of a bummer because I know that had potential, but the other good thing is we brought it up as a discussion point, and there could be opportunities for similar entities to do that kind of work. So my last item is a late item, so I didn't put it on the initial agenda because it just came in, but I wanted to give everyone a heads up that TND has requested to appear at our next meeting in August, and so I'm going to give them a spot on the agenda. And just a kind of quick summary is you may be aware that TND is partnering with North Suffolk Community Services on a project for supportive housing at 110 Ocean Avenue. It will take what's currently 7 people in a group kind of housing environment, expand that to 8, add some office space for North Suffolk, and then also create 48 affordable rental units at or below 50% of area median income. So what they want to talk to us about, they received a ZBA approval, they received some funding from the state, but they still have some semblance of a funding gap, and so they're going to put together kind of where they're at with their funding gap, the places they're applying, and then where we might be able to fit in and potentially help with that. And whether that's something that we'd want to do, that'll be up to the board. So we'll want to take a look at, they're going to do a presentation on the project and the funding gap, and we'll be able to provide our feedback on whether that's something that we want to do. I think we all can agree that, it's a great project to support. We're glad that it got its zoning approvals. And whether it kind of fits in with what we're trying to do funding-wise, we'll have a chance to review that when they come in August, and they'll have a presentation. So, any questions or things that folks have in advance of that one? And Noah, maybe pen that down when we're thinking about, priority items and what's to come and where that fits in.
Absolutely.
Terrific. All right, any other questions on anything or late items or? Not? All right, well, I think this has been maybe our second most efficient meeting ever after the one that I was sick and Claire ran, so. Okay, so seeing no other items, I move to adjourn. All right, well, thank you everyone for your time.
Yep.